wait for some time and then like another 5 minutes. I would say another 3 minutes and then we're gonna start.
Yeah.
Like few people are saying like it's a bad weather in India, especially NCR region because of the lot of rains and all. So
Yeah,
there is no electricity connection at so many places, and then they're not
Oh, I
able to
got
connect
that.
the electricity.
That's why
Yeah. So hi, welcome Hitram. Yeah. So that's the reason there are many people not able to join the live sessions. But I think it's good, like people will later can watch the live recording or recorded session. Maybe wait for another 2-3 minutes. Yeah, and then we can start. So yeah, we will make sure that most of the people join live session. So yeah, today the second session on AWS Cloud Practitioner, which we started last week, and due to some other reasons, like we have shifted a little bit early. Usually this happens 8:30 p.m. IST, but due to some another session, we have next session. We have to shift a little bit early this session. But going forward, mostly it is going to be the same time, like 8:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. And yeah, we will try to cover most of the Saturday. Okay, we'll wait for another 1 minute and then we can start. If people will join in the middle, then it's fine. Yeah, maybe just give 1 minute to the guys so they can join, and then we can start the session. This is a semi-monthly series, most of Saturday, which we are going to cover most of the Saturday. It might be sometime it is not, like I think next Saturday it's not going to happen, this AWS session, but we will try to again bring it back following Saturday. Okay, so it's already, I think, 8:05. So maybe we can start with that. Hi, everyone. First of all, welcome to the second session of AWS. And this is organized by Multi-Cloud for You. And yeah, so this is the second session of the series, which we have started AWS Basic series. And this is going to help you in the AWS Cloud Practitioner exam, which is the fundamental exam of AWS, which you can go and write. Yeah. About me, I am Mrityunjay and I have many years of direct service experience in banking and IT industry, as well as many years of teaching and mentorship experience. Recently, I have done my cloud certification, so I'm a cloud certified professional in AWS, and I started sessions on AWS last week. This is the second session of the series. You can get more information about me on the LinkedIn, which is mentioned here. Then about multi-cloud for you, this is a platform. Basically, it's a platform of multiple techies, and they are taking sessions and doing the free knowledge sharing. And if you want, you can also do share your knowledge. You can take sessions as well. Do connect to the Anjani or multi-cloud for you. You can join the session directly using these links below, and you can also connect us with the links given here. Yeah, and after the sessions, all the recordings are available in the sessions on the multi-cloud for you. You can go anytime, you can watch. These are directly streamed to the Facebook and YouTube as well. Like, so this is available on our YouTube channel as well. Talking about next, our course objective. Looks like someone joined. Hi, Rahul. Yeah, thanks. Thanks for muting the phone. Yeah. Okay. Talking about our course objective. This course is going to cover. Wait a minute. This course is going to cover AWS cloud computing. Then it's going to describe the key services on AWS cloud platform. Then describe AWS cloud architecture principle. Then we'll talk about the shared responsibility models and what is the security and compliance we are following in AWS. Then we are going to talk about the billing, account management, pricing, which is all related to the money on the AWS cloud. What is the usage and what is the charges? And then tools and support and services. So this is like basic objectives of the course, series of the course. Then what is the prerequisite for this? Like you may have some IT technical knowledge or IT business knowledge, so you can understand some technical keywords, and that is enough to understand the cloud sessions. Of course, talking about the course module, we are into the module 1, which is covering AWS cloud concepts. Then we are going to cover AWS core services later in future. Then we are going to cover about the securities. Then we are going to cover about the architecture. Someone message, I think. Can't hear. Are you speaking? Yes. Anyone of me can hear, or like, are you guys can hear me or not? Yeah. So maybe Hetram, he is saying that I'm not audible. Maybe can you just check your speaker or something? Because it looks like I'm audible to the other people. So it may be something to do with maybe if you are using a computer and then audio, then maybe you need to
And
switch between the
you can
speaker and
also
microphone.
ping him the you can also ping him the link on the slash TV stream. So you can ping him the link of. So just let me
Let
ping him.
me, yes, okay. Yeah, thanks, Hedram. Yeah, he can hear now, but Anjani is going to ping you the TV link as well. So in case you are not able to hear here, then you can watch on the TV or Facebook streaming anywhere. So we have multiple channels where we are broadcasting this session. Yeah, thanks Anjani for sharing the details. So I was just talking about the modules, and we are talking about like module 4, which AWS architecting, which we are going to, of course, talk in future. Then we are going to talk about the AWS pricing and support. And about the past sessions, so this is a AWS basic series. You can go and watch the past sessions directly on the multicloudforyou.com and / AWS basic series. You can open this page and there all the recordings of the AWS series is there. Of course, you can go and subscribe our YouTube channel as well. All the sessions are available, recorded there. So let's say if you're missing something or if you want to watch second time some concepts want to clear, then you can go and see. These sessions are like series of sessions, so we try to capture all the sessions and we are storing on the it's all available on the YouTube as well as multi-cloud for you. Yeah. Moving ahead, I just thought because of this is session 2, so I just thought to recap whatever we have done in session 1. What we did is like we just talk about a little bit about the AWS cloud and cloud computing introductions. Then we talk about the traditional data centers. And then we talk about the traditional data centers, what is the pain points. So we talk about the large upfront investment, and we talk about forecasting demand is difficult. Then we have talk about the slow to deploy new data centers and servers, and all the securities and compliance burden are on the company, which is on premises or traditional data center. Then we talk about what is the benefits of, like, what is the benefits of using AWS, like it's initiated within a second, treat as temporary and disposable. So you can use whatever you want, or you can dispose all the servers or instance anytime. Later I'm going to take the demo and I'll show you how to create an instance and how to dispose it. Then we talk about types of cloud computing, where like we talk about public cloud, we talk about private cloud, AWS, uh, Azure, GCP. These all are coming under public cloud. Then we have talked about the hybrid. Hi Saurabh, can you just mute it, please?
Is it
Yeah,
is it okay now?
I can still hear Saurabh. If you just mute it, and then yeah, thanks. Yeah, so types of computing, and okay, moving ahead, we also talk about the AWS benefits. Then if you guys have joined first session, then I have asked one question, and then I'm going to ask the same question again. And then I just wanted to check that whether you guys have still remember those concepts or not. So the question was this, and if you answer this question, then just type the answer in the message. So there's INS Global runs several production workloads on its data center. They are using VMware to have cloud-like infrastructure in the data center. They want to integrate AWS with their data center for the new workloads to be managed. Which cloud type would his company be following? So we want to understand a cloud type, which cloud type, and the options are this one, like, are they using public cloud, private cloud, hybrid cloud, or on premises? You can answer in the chat window. I'll just wait for a few seconds and then move on to explain the answer. Yeah. If you have not attended the last session, then it should be fine. I'm going to talk about this answer and then we are going to move on. Yeah, thanks. Very good. So Ayapam has responded. Okay, then moving on to, so if you see that on premises, because this is not the cloud, so, and this question is clearly asking which cloud type would his company be following. So that's why we take out that one. That is the odd man out, like we take out that answer from the our answer group, and then we moving to, it's a hybrid cloud. Yeah, so it's a hybrid cloud because they are having some already they have the VMware setup, and then they also want AWS, so they want to use the both private and public cloud. So that's why we are going to be hybrid cloud. Now I have kept a couple of slides from the last session to just explain this one concept, private, public, and hybrid cloud. And this you can see that what is public cloud and private cloud and hybrid cloud. So public cloud is something where like all the visitors or anyone can go outside and do whatever they want. The private cloud is something where all only accessible to the employees of the company or very restricted. It's on the company domain itself. And then hybrid cloud, if you see, it's accessible to both, like, part of the public and part of the private. So as the name suggests, it's a private hybrid cloud. Moving to benefits of AWS, we talk about, this is also a slide from last session, but I just thought to, at least recap that. And so it's a very easy to use, secure storage, pay per use. We have a database there, then we have multi-region backups, and mobile friendly access. Then we have a stop guessing capacity, so no need to guess how much capacity we are going to require. Then we are less capex. So capex is like capital expenditure upfront, so we just require very less. Then it's an increase speed and agility. It's very fast we can go and switch off. Then we can go global in minutes. So if you are in India, you want to launch something in USA or anywhere in the world, you can just go globally. I think someone joined the session and not muted. So yeah, Hetram again. Yeah, thanks. Then we have benefits for massive economies of scale. This is the one thing. Then again, I'm going to ask another question. What is the full form of EC2? So this is something because I remember I have shown the screen or demo. This is one of the services available in AWS. If you have not attended last session, then it's fine. Or if you have attended, then you can take the option and see what is this. So the options is like electronic compute services, elastic compute services, electronic compute cloud, or elastic compute cloud. Yeah, there are a couple of people had messaged the answer in the chat window. I will open that and we will see what is the answer. But I'll go with this first, and then we will come up that. I'll explain this, and then I'll open the chat window as well. And all those who answer correctly, kudos to them. So they have at least attentive on the sessions and they have a good concepts. So of course, ECS, we are not talking about ECS, we are talking about EC2 is like ECC, like electric. Then we have CC is like 2C. And then we are going ahead, we are talking about elastic compute cloud. So elastic is a word which we are going to see. And let me see the answer. D service, elastic compute, that's fine. Elastic compute service, elastic compute service. So Hetram for you, I think it's elastic compute cloud because this C2 stand for CC. Yeah, so it's EC2 is like ECC is like elastic compute cloud. So this is a good way to remember it. Yeah. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Thanks. Anyway, moving forward. Let me close this window. Yeah. Then we are talking about few key terms. That one we talk about elasticity. So I just talk about elastic compute cloud, and we are talking about elasticity. So what is elasticity? So the elasticity means the ability to acquire resources as you need them. Like you can stretch it or you can uh, contract it. Like, you can scale out, scale in, or scale up, scale down. The two terms. So elasticity, like this is the definition from Amazon, that in the cloud you want to do this automatically. It's automatically you can scale out, scale in. Yeah. So this is something elasticity, and this is very popular term for the cloud. Moving more about elasticity, scalability, and the high performance. Use services at your own pace. So what you can achieve by doing that is like you can use all the services available in AWS on your own pace. So whether you want to use some less bit of service or like you want to use more services, or you can do it your own pace. Then you can use the tools to meet your needs. So there's so many tools available in the AWS console. Later we are going to demo it and I'll show you all the tools, but whatever you want, you can use it. So there's no need to buy upfront everything. Then adapt your consumption. So scale up as workload grows. Like let's say for an example, if you guys can see the Amazon or Flipkart, like they come up with some kind of a Diwali offer or Holi offer or like any kind of Christmas offer. So that day they know that their skill, or Alibaba Cloud like 1111 or US that Walmart. So there's so many sales going on, right? So they come up with this kind of system. So they know that for that 2 days or 3 days or 5 days that demand is going to be so high. So they scale up according to that. So you can set up according to your CPU use, according to time. So there is so many way you can set up a scale up. and then again shut down unneeded resources. And then again after a few days, when they don't use that, then they shut down those resources and then don't charge for that. So this is the way elasticity and scalability works for high performance. Another key term which we are going to is like reliability. So how reliable is the service? So what Amazon say, like we are almost 100% close to 100% or 99 point some 99999 reliable. So that means like even though that one country failure happen, we are not going to be down. So it's like a global, because they are talking about global infrastructure. They are available in all the countries. We are going to see that in forthcoming slides. What is the global infrastructure and what are the countries they are available? But this is the reliability is one of the key pillars for them. Yeah. Then more on reliability, we are talking about high performance and reliable solutions achieve greater flexibility and capacity, so they can provide all the flexibility, like whether it's a small or more capacity or big capacity. Then what are the reliable solutions can do? So the reliable solutions can recover from failures. So let's say if some systems failure happen, then reliable solutions can automatically recover by themselves. So no need to worry about that whether my user is waiting for something. So it will automatically available from some other location. Resources are available on demand, and then mitigate disruptions. Someone message, can you tell the difference? Scalability and elasticity. Yes. So elasticity is like, so, okay. So coming back to you, elasticity, as you say, like, we can escape. So it's both are kind of a similar word where like, if I talk about elasticity, then a stretch up and a stretch down. So, if you see, like, I was talking about the example where like, I was talking about one sales, right? And we know that, okay, so on a normal day, let's say my user base is like 100, but suddenly one day I have some promotion going on at 50% discount on my website. And then suddenly my traffic grows from 100 to 1 lakh or 100,000. Then how I'm going to handle that situation? Because my system is going to be down, right? Yes, Bharat, the session is going on. Can you just, Bharat, yes, the session is going on. Can you check your, yeah, I can hear you now. So you can mute it. Yeah, Bharat, you can mute it, yeah. Bharat, yeah, please mute. Hello, hello, Bharat.
Hello, I'm just muting. Yeah, just a moment.
Yeah, please. So much background noise coming, so please mute it, yeah.
Okay, okay.
I can still hear. Okay, I'm not sure, like, you may get a mute button, yeah. It should be something like this audio, yeah. You just go and click here, so it will be mute off.
Okay, okay. Just
Sorry guys, yeah, because it's a lot of background noise, so I cannot continue. So just we need to wait for Bharat to be mute. And I think the host is not sure, like if he's there to mute. Hello, are you guys can hear me? I cannot hear a lot of background news. Sorry, background.
Yes, Mrityunjay, we can hear you.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, so let's continue. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So coming back to your question, so scalability, and that's where we are talking about, like, if the user base grows from 100 to 100,000, then what will do? So it will, what we can do is like a scale up. So a scale up is like a scalability. It's so elasticity is something a word, but scalability is just kind of a solution where, like, you can scale up. You can just add so many machines, and then suddenly your capacity grows, and then it can handle all the users, okay, and all the load on them. I'll also more on that. It's more related to I think a scale up. I'm not sure, like auto scaling we are going to cover in this fundamental series, but of course it's one of the concepts which we are going to cover later. Yeah. So coming back to reliability, mitigate disruptions. I hope. I'm not sure. Like, okay, thanks, Sam. Yeah. Okay, coming back to here, then there's one more term we talk about, the agility. Yeah, so agility is like the cloud gives you access to a broad range of technologies so that you can innovate faster and build nearly anything that you can imagine. So earlier, if I go to my own on my own or another data center, then I have to build something and deploy. It takes so much time to to just ramp up my data. Hi Dheeraj. Yeah, please mute it. Thank you. Yeah, okay, so let's moving on to the agility. Then there are a few agility factors we are going to talk about. One is the speed. So the speed is something which we already talk about so many times, like instant global reach or rapid availability of the new resources. So whenever the new resources, I build one machine, it's available within few seconds or within few minutes. It's very rapidly available. Then we are talking about experimentations. So experimentation is something which is very handy for all the startups or all the small companies or organizations or anything which we are thinking as a new, like as a developer. If I'm thinking that, okay, I want to do some experiment, then I can just go and do whatever I want, and then later I will delete it. So operations as a code, like, so now with the current cloud world, if you see that uh, the operations, like one function as a code, you can go and deploy and test. Safe experimentations, it's very safe, like that, because AWS or Azure or any other cloud provider, like top cloud provider, they are very secure. They themselves say that we are almost very secure and reliable. Then they have comparative testings. Then culture of innovation. So you can do very quickly experimentations with very low cost and risk, because the low cost is why, because initially you have to just consume little bit resources. So, and you are just paying for what you are using. You are not paying for everything. So I am not buying a server which I'm not using 100%. I'm just buying one a small machine or a small setup with like, or a small core setup. Instance which I'm just using, and then I'm going to delete it later. Then more experimentation and more often. So very fast I can experiment, change, and more often. Moving to AWS global infrastructure. This is the one thing which I was talking a few minutes back, that we are going to cover global infrastructure. So if you see this world map, and if you see the country or cities, and almost AWS is available in all the countries, all the continents and countries, almost all the locations it's available. If you see this, the lines, this is nothing but this is the AWS undersea cable. So this is, later when I'm going to maybe explain next session or something, maybe I'll take one session, how Netflix works and all those things. It's a very interesting thing. And then if you go and understand then undersea cable, how the internet connected from one country to another country. So if you understand, like, I'm sitting in Singapore, someone in current session is sitting in US, someone is sitting in India. So everyone is connected very fast with the internet. It's all undersea cables. So AWS has their own dedicated undersea cable, and by which they have connected. So they don't have to rely on any other internet or networks. Talking more about AWS global infrastructures, they have around 175 services, and they are adding more fast. They have 22 regions, so they have divided whole world into the 22 regions, then 70 AGs or availability zones. We are going to understand what is this. We are going to understand what is regions. Then we have one stop compliance services. So what that means is like they are top compliant services, like compliant for all kind of services they are giving. Then they have global networks, as we see in the world map. They have all the networks. And then they can deploy in very hours or minutes, I would say. Yeah. If you see, they have 216 point of presence, then they have 97 direct locations, then 245 countries and territories they are serving. I'm not sure, like, I think we have total around 255 or something countries in the world. Sunil, hello Sunil, please mute.
Hello, Sunil.
Hello.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Okay. Moving ahead, I'll try to show you guys something. Let's see this slide. So this slide is kind of a globe, and you can see here it's a global infrastructure. It talk about regions, availability zones, then we have local zones, then we have point of presence, then networks, and then other things. What I'll do, it's a small video which I have created, and I'll show you. See, so it is going to explain you what is this. So yeah, so it's a global infrastructure. So see, the data centers are connected to availability zones, and this is connected to the regions. So there's a regions. Inside regions, we have availability zones. Yeah. And then we have point of presence. So moving to availability zones, if you see, it's a that this is a Canada, and then it got like, okay, so Canada region has this, all the pink is the point of contacts, all the blue colors is the availability zones. Okay. I was just moving towards the Mumbai. So we have a Mumbai region in India. If you see the Mumbai region, then we have blue, so 3 availability zones. Later, I'm going to demo you and showing you what is the availability zones. Someone is not muted. Rasmi, can you just mute it, please? Rasmi, can you just mute it? Thank you. Yeah. Yeah, so we are into the North California regions, and we can see the availability zones, and then we have point of presence. This is available on the AWS website. You may go and see if you want more. You want to more understand, how it is work and understand, and then you can talk about this this load balancer, internet, storage servers, then compute servers. So this is how these all the hardwares come together, and everything is connected and provided by them, AWS. Yeah. So this is a little bit about that AWS infrastructures, and then we are talking about the benefits. Sorry, go back. I was talking about benefits. I think there's one. Yeah, I'll just pause it here. And then we have talk about, so what they are saying is like they say like we have a strongest security, highest availability and reliability. That was I was talking about, 99.9999 or 11.9 something. Fast performance, and they have long most global footprint. So they have largest and most global footprint. So they are talking about, and that we know that AWS is the global leader in the cloud computing at this point of time. So this is a little bit about the global infrastructures. Now I'm going to show you management console and then a few services, and I'll try to show you at least one service. And yeah, so let's go to see some demo. Last session I was talking about how to create your account. Usually it's a 12 months free, so they have a free tier. I'm not sure how many of you are there in the last session. If you guys are not there, then maybe you can go back and see my last session, and then you can get an idea that how to create a AWS free account. So I already have account. I'm going to log in using the root user. Not sure. Yeah, if any questions, let me know. Rahul, please mute it. Later we are going to have a question answer session. Then you can unmute and ask questions. Yeah. So this is AWS console, how it looks like. And if you go about the services, then this is all the services which we were talking about. You can have a lot many services. So you have a compute section, and the question, if you remember, then I asked about EC2, which is the topmost first service available in this. There are many other compute services, which some of them you want to understand, some of them we don't want to understand, because some of them are like not related to your class or your sessions. Like Lightsail, Lambda is a little bit related, like Elastic Beanstalk is sometime related. Then we have a storage service, which is like S3, EFS. These all have like, S3 is abbreviated like, simple storage service. So it's SSS. So it's like mostly if you see this kind of words like C2, that's why I said like EC2. So C2 is like CC, nothing else. So yeah, so then they have the database services, which is like RDS, DynamoDB, then Elastic Cache, then Neptune. Then they have migration and transformation services. Then they have networking and content services. Yeah, so there's so many services we are going to cover one by one. You can group by them. You can just watch as A to Z. You can just type here and then select like EC2. If I'm not sure, then I can go and see EC2. If I want AIM, there is something AMI. Sorry, AMI. So this is wait a minute. Yeah, let me create one instance for you guys, and then I just wanted to, because we talk about the regions and we talk about the availability zones. So that is what I wanted to at least explain you guys today session, and then maybe we can cover a few more things in the next session. So the one thing which you can see here again is like, I think last session also I show you. So this is the one which if you see Singapore, and then there's so many other regions. So these all are regions, nothing but it's a region. So in US East, we have North Virginia, we have Ohio, then we have North California, then we have Oregon, then we have Hong Kong, Mumbai, Seoul. This is APAC, and then Singapore, Sydney, and Tokyo. So they have considered like, say Sydney and Tokyo in this APAC itself. Then we have Canada, then we have Europe, and then we have South America. So they have divided into the regions. So I can select any regions from here. The first thing I need to do is I need to select the regions. So if you are in India, you can go and maybe select kind of a Mumbai region, right? So I can select, even I can also select. So, it's not that the person should be available there. It's like I can select, so my account, I can select any region. So that's why I can say that, sitting in Singapore or sitting in Mumbai or sitting in US, you can do anything anywhere in the world. But you have to just select this region first, and all the settings and everything is changed based on that. So I selected my Singapore region. Then I'm going to create a EC2 instance, which is like a compute service. Okay, if you see my current, it's showing running instances 0. So there's no instance I have. Then I have a key pair one. What is this? I'll explain you later. Then we have a security groups. There are 2 security groups. So you can see this dashboard, it's showing everything. What I'm going to do is I'm going to launch an instance here. Then I'm going to select this Amazon Linux 2 AMI. This is a kind of a smaller one. And then I'm going to 64-bit. And if you see, I show you already that this T2 micro is instance size. And this is a free tier eligible. So the one I talk about that they provide 750 hours per month of compute services free for 12 months. So if you create your account in AWS, they will give you 12 months free services, but you make sure that you only select this. If you select any other, then you have to pay. So it's a chargeable. What they say give is like they are giving you a virtual CPU and then the 1 gig of memory, which is I think more than enough for a small thing. Then moving to, we have a next configuration section. Number of instance 1, then purchasing options, then we have to select the network, then we have to select subnet. This is a little bit high kind of concepts, which I'll maybe cover sometime because this is coming under VPC and other security sections. Then auto assign public IP, I'm just keeping everything in default. And yeah, going down, IAM role. I'm not selecting any role because this is on coming under security, which we need to select later. Okay, this is one thing I wanted to show you guys, and that's why I came to this screen, this subnet. So subnet, if you go, you can see default subnet in any availability zone. So if you see the availability zones, we talk about regions and we talk about availability zones. So availability zone, if you want to understand, it's a kind of a data centers available in Singapore region. So if you see that Singapore, they have 3 availability zone, 1A, 1B, and 1C. And mind it, like my 1A could not be similar to your 1A. So it's a depend upon, that it's an internal configuration. So you can go and select this. So let's say I have selected 1A and then I can go down. Then they have network interface, then additional servers, other details, which I'm just keeping it, everything is as default. Then going to talk about the storage. Then we need to select some kind of a storage. By default, they're giving 8 gig of storage. Then we have different type of storage services, like we have general purpose like SSD, we have provisioned IOPS, we have magnetic standard. This is nothing but a hard disk. This is a normal SSD, and this is IO1 provision IOPS. So this is the 3 different type of storage which we need to cover into the storage section. We will talk about the storage, then we'll talk about this. Hi Bharat, I think it's still, yeah, thanks. Then if you want, you can add some tags like, okay, this is my web server, like name, I can say web server. Okay, and if you want, you can add like this. Then security configuration. This is one thing which we are going to understand later, but I am just going to select the default security, or I'll just, select the default existing security, then review and launch. And then you can see the review instance type is T2 micro, security groups this, instance details is, these are all the details available over there. If you see, I have selected this subnet and then I can say launch. Yeah. So I need to select some existing key pair, or I need to create a key pair, which we need to understand, going to understand later, but currently I'm just using my key pair. Then I'm just saying launch instance. And what it will do is, like, if you go and see the logs, so you can see here EC2, you can see the EC2 dashboard, and Okay, wait a minute. Yeah, so if you see that this instance is running, so that means my this instance is already available. Yeah. So it's like, if you see, it's like within few seconds, this machine is available. You can go deploy anything and then you can walk. Yeah. This is a Linux machine. You can go deploy. If you want more understanding of this, then you go about, talk about this instance detail. This is the IP, public IP address. So if I go and click here, and then I think, let me try to ping it. Not sure if it will open because I need to do some kind of security checks or security setting, then it will be open. Yeah. But if you see, this is already available and ready. What I can do is like, I can launch another instance, or I can go and always, I can do a stop, I can reboot, I can terminate. So what a stop do is like, okay, a stop is something which will, yes. Correct. Yes, Bharat, this is a VM. And if you see, if you talk about Azure or Alibaba Cloud, then it's called VM over there, but here it's called EC2. Yeah. So we just created one VM, and which was like this availability zone AP Southeast Asia 1A. Maybe in the forthcoming session, I'll create like few more instances in different availability zone, and then I'll show you more about, that, and then maybe we'll try to create some small website and see that, how it is going to work in forthcoming exam sessions. But considering today, like, we have a limited time, and I think we have another session coming up. So yeah,
Please enter the
let
meeting
all
ID
features in
and with
yeah.
pound key.
Yes, we can do
Please enter
everything.
your
All
participant ID. Otherwise, press the pound key to enter the meeting.
hi Saurabh. I think it's uh, some noise coming. Yeah. Okay, so this is about the stop. So this instance is a stop, but don't forget to, terminate this, because otherwise it's going to charge me. So I'm just going to terminate it. So what it will do is like, it will automatically shut down and then terminate. Once you stop, it's still going to charge you. Okay, but don't forget to terminate, because if you are not using this instance, then make sure that you will terminate it. Yeah. So this is the one service we covered today. We might be going to cover in the next session. We are going to cover the S3 or any other service which you like, or like I'm going to talk about that AIM, which is another service. AMI. Where is AMI? AMI. I can't see security. Okay, IAM. Sorry. Yeah, AMI is like Amazon Machine Image. That is a different thing. IAM. So this is the one thing which we are going to cover in next. This is part of a little bit security. So I'll explain what is this, user roles, groups, and other things. Yeah. So I think this is from the demo session. What is talking about? Yeah, we saw the VM. Yes. Now coming back to my presentation, I have one more question today from today's session. So I have a question for you guys, that ABC Angel Investment Company is looking for an investment opportunity in India in a new emerging technology. It requires a new infrastructure. What benefits of AWS cloud is more relevant? And the option is this. Now you have to tell me, like, what is the benefits? What is the benefits, like when we are launching a new instance, we want to do some new investment, then what is the benefits? What is the main benefit we can see from here that this cloud provides or Amazon provides to us? You can answer in chat window. Then I'm going to move to next, and we will see the answer, and then we will open the chat window and see, like, who all has, at least able to answer. Yeah. The answer is pay as you go, because since we are starting, we don't want to invest too much money, and then yeah, pay as you go. Yeah, all of you got it right. So it's a pay as you go, and because it's a very nice feature by AWS that what is reserved instance. Actually, reserved instance is something which is another kind of service where like you can go and reserve that particular. So that if you saw the instance which I have created, I have terminated it, but I can go and reserve for a year or 2 year or like three months, 4 months. There's a separate kind of a billing. We will talk about this in our billing section. When we'll go into the billing and the costing, then we will see that how the different pricing or pay as you go, reserved instance, or there is one more spot instance, how these all are different. Yeah, we'll talk in more detail. If US company create Office 365, they will go for SaaS. Yes, of course. We are going to talk about the SaaS and IaaS and PaaS in next session. So yeah, so we are going to talk that in more details. Guys, I think that's end of the session today. If you have any questions, then you can unmute and ask the questions, or you can ask the questions in chat window, and I'm trying to answer. Yeah. If you have any question, you can unmute yourself and then ask, or maybe you can ask in chat window as well. And if you want to see this session or any other session, then you can go and multi-cloud for you. This is a YouTube channel. You can scan this QR code, and then you can directly go and see all the sessions over there. All the previous sessions also recorded. So yeah, and this session is also going to be there, available there. And if no questions, then thank you everyone for joining today's sessions. Yeah, okay. For testing on AWS application, what are the things we check while creating VMs? Yes, that's a little bit more technical. So today I just talk about only one thing, which was like availability zones. So there are many things related to that, Bharat. We are going to talk in more details when we talk about the security. Like, the one thing, if you saw in today demo, I talk about security groups. So, but I have not created any security group, but I have just selected one. So if I go back to this, then if you see the groups, then I have this, developer and this, and yeah, if you go here, then it might be, yeah. So if you go see security groups, I have these security groups. So this is default. This is launch wizard one, which I have already existing. So this is the one thing which I talk about. Then that's so many other things. So if I'll go back to your answer, I'll just considering. I think yeah, I have 2 more minutes to answer your question, and after that I need to log off because there's another session coming up. So if I'll go back, then if you go to the next configuration, so there are so many things. I talk about the network. We have to talk about VPC. Then we have to select the availability zones. Then we have to talk about the public IP address, and then these roles, which I talk about the roles. Then we have to talk about, if you want any scripts to run, then you can put it here. That we are going to cover later. So yeah, so these many things, then later we are going to select the security group. So these all things we need to cover here. I hope, Bharat, it's answered your questions. We'll cover more in details in forthcoming sessions. Yeah, thanks guys. Thank you everyone for joining the session. Today's session, we are going to have, if you want more information, then you can connect to me on the LinkedIn or to Anjani on the LinkedIn. These links are below. Again, thank you. everyone, and from the multi-cloud for you. And this platform is always open. You guys also can, if you want to speak on this or share some knowledge, then you can always come and contact us on this, and then yeah, we can arrange the same. Thank you, everyone. Good night. Yeah.
And stay tuned. We have another session coming up by Sauravatri in just 3 minutes. So stay tuned if you are interested into Angular session, or you may drop off. Maybe the new set of audience will be coming up.
Yes, guys. So yeah, if you are like a UI developer or anyone want to go into the UI, then it's a very nice thing. You know, at least today I can only say that Angular is a very hot topic. And we all developer, if you are a developer point of view, then we need to understand that.
And I would like to share one thing.
So
So if you are so like you're busy, or if you are going for dinner or something, you can also use this radio, which is like you can open it on your mobile and leave it, so you don't need to be on the screen, and we'll keep on podcasting the session. So here's podcasting. You just have to go open this web page and leave it let it be there on your mobile, and you can do anything else. Leave it anywhere, it will keep on talking. Just have to use this play button. Okay. So I would like to give this mic to Saurabh. So
yeah,
thanks, Ajni.
Yeah, thank you, Mrityunjay.
Yeah, thanks,
Thanks, Mrityunjay.
Thanks, Saurabh.
And thank you, Saurabh, for joining. Saurabh is joining us from US, United States, and yeah, he will be taking the Angular session.
Thank you so much, Ajni. Really appreciate it.
I think you will have to wait for another 3-4 minutes.
Sure.
The more people join. Obviously, there are more than 10, 15, 20 people watching us online. Yeah. On different channels.
Sounds great.
More than 30, 40 people on other platforms.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. Perfect. Thank you, Ajni. So while we are waiting,